Foggy Anime presents.
Wrong.
Why is Strike Witches important? Fumikane Shimada, who also created Girls in Panzer, Frame Arm Girls, Sky Girls, and contributed a lot of mech designs for Gundam Build Divers. Strike Witches takes place in an alternative 1940s era with what would take place of World War II is now all the nations of the world teaming up to find the Nudroi, alien invaders who are attacking Earth. And those that aid our military powers to defend the Earth are the Strike Witches. Magically powered girls who are enlisted in combat with jet-like boots that aids them to fly around, shoot at the enemy, target the enemy, figure out where their core are, heal, and put up protective, spell-binding circle-like fields around them to reduce or nullify enemy attacks. That's right, these witches are not wearing breeches, nerds, as they team up together and fight for the human survival. A small note, I have talked to many veterans about this show, and they've admitted that this show is pretty accurate to the camaraderie that they face within the field. So with that, let's continue with Strike Witches. Let's begin with Strike Witches, the DVD. Why do I not have the Blu-ray or combo pack? Because I wanted this packaging. So we have the front, the spine, whoop,
Winning the war on pants.
the back, the skinny spines, the up-down, just to kick it around to the downtown. Next, we have the front of the skinnies. We have the back of the skinnies. Disc 1. Pop it out to show the different names and stats of each female in the 500 first. Disc 2 jumping at you. And now we see the other of the 500 first squad. Strike Witches Season 1 obviously begins this whole saga of Strike Witches. We get to introduce the main character and her special ability of healing, as well as the other cast of characters and how they act within a squad. The big bad for this one is the mean old military who wants to be stupid for some reason and get rid of the girls for something else that the enemy invaders want to take over. So that, let's continue with Strike Witches 2! So here's the limited edition Strike Witches 2 box set. We have the front, the book spine, the back, Blu-ray case spines. Oh, this is so you can put season 1 in here if you have the Blu-ray combo pack or the Blu-ray, but I don't have that. I got me the save edition for different flavors, baby. Then we kick it downtown to flip it to the uptown. First, let's go over the spacer box. Front, spine, back, spine, uptown, downtown, whoop, flip it around, read it like royalty, and set it back down. Alright, let's start with the original for the box. So we have the front, we already saw the spine, and the back. Open it up to see the Blu-ray discs, all the emblems of the girls, and well, they are their own fighting unit. And the disc 2 and disc 1 for DVD. So we pop out the disc to see the reverse cover art in this blue edition. Up next is the save edition. So front, we saw the spine and the back.
Still winning the war on pants.
We open it up to see the mailing card. Stamp side, fill outside. Disc 1. Disc 2, Blu-ray 1 and Blu-ray 2. Nothing really different. And obviously another case of the deja vu, if you will, with the reverse cover art. Alright, let's pack it up, gals. With Season 2, we get the story, just like the Muppets, about how the gang gets back together again. A war obstacle that they need to prepare for. What's kind of strange between Season 1 and Season 2 is Season 1, they were strict on the rules, and you have to obey every order. No exceptions, no breath of fresh air, it's army, damn it. However, this one, how it begins, a little wonky, cause our main character chases after her higher up to join the battle, and instead of roaring lawyers, she happily accepts her to come back to the bout. Other than that, same fun as before, different type of shenanigans happens, and a nice continuance from Strike Witches to Strike Witches 2. The movie in Season 2 is supposed to be an OVA called Strike Witches Operation Victory Arrow. This is a little special to me because when I went to an AWA panel, Anime Week in Atlanta, back in, I want to say 2015, I could be wrong, they showed the last OVA at that panel. With that panel, you had a mid-40s Army soldier who specialized in linguistics to translate Japanese into English, art director of that episode, and the creator of Strike Witches, as I've mentioned before in the Why Is It Important. He was there in that room, so I got live commentary after watching the episode and asked questions about the process and stuff, and even hearing the art director bicker to the creator like why he doesn't have a copy, and fans wondering why this OVA isn't over here. It should be over here. It answers some questions, but it does not hinder the viewer to get into the movie. So with that, let's begin this gal. The fronts, the spines, the other spines. Ooh, those two. Then we go to the back with no mentioning of war on pants. Winning the war with a magic touch. Oh yeah. Set the slip down and open it much. We see the green striped DVD. Then we see the blue striped Blu-ray. Ooh. Pop those sisters out to enjoy the beautiful sunset of the reverse artwork. It's time to scramble them eggs. The movie is a fun bliss. It introduces this character into the fray, as well as how they tackle the incoming invader, and also cliffhangs for another season to come. I found it fun. It technically was the first movie shown at my anime club, Decatur Anime Lounge, but that's defunct a long time ago. And with that, this is the movie. Up next is Strike Witches 501st Joint Fighter Wing Takeoff, or World Witches Series Take Off, which I'm a little lost. I could have just said World Witches Strike Witches Take Off, something like that, but with the long title that they have, there is another season of this that hasn't been released yet, just called Strike Witches Take Off or World Witches Take Off, so running back into blackjack naming conventions again. Either way, let's go through the motions that we all know and love. We have the fronts. We have the spines. We have the other spines. And then we have the back. It's the hilarious must-own spin-off of the World Witches franchise. They don't call it World Witches, they call it Strike Witches. What in the world, pink text? Anyway, put this down, open it up like a clown. Only disc with movie, which is awesome. And see all the girls circle about. So where in the world does this one take place between all of this? Is this season 3? Is this something else? Well, it's quite simple. You treat this like one of those SD chibi shows, Super Deformed or Superior Defender. Well, I guess these are, but this actually takes place between these three and is a comedy show. That's right, a whole comedy of these gals, the whole platoon, which is fine cause given the seriousness of these three, this gives it a breath of fresh air. As it deals more with comedy, it's able to flourish the characters more, give them more of their personality, except for the subtle hints that we see during the wartime. Here they get to relax. They do deal with the war conflict in the movie portion, but other than that, this is just good fun. I would recommend watching this after you watch the movie, but with that, there you go. Up next, it's time to talk about Brave Witches. Brave Witches is slightly different from Strike Witches because we have a cast change. Totally fine, at least with the name change that's given. But this explores more the world around them and the weapon and tech as they fight the invaders. They do not have the Ultra Healer as her, but different characters, as I said before. So let's go through the motions of les oceans of the fronts, the spines, the other spines, and no pants, no skills, no problem. Oh ho ho, that slogan is back. Set the slip down and patty the whack. Blu-ray 1, Blu-ray 2, DVD 1, and DVD 2. Erect the stack up to show all the glory of the reverse art on the other side of the slip. Bag in the dip. Alright, so with this being a different cast set in more of a Russian setting than these gals are stationed, they're kind of stationed around the Italy area for the most part. This one is literally a spin-off. So where does it take place? Sometime between this and this one. I believe that this is the 502nd Division, which is totally fine, but you don't need to watch this before watching any of these. These gals show up, literally these two, show up in Season 3, because we have Season 1, Season 2, movie. Let's call this a special. It's not a special, but let's call it a special. So Season 3, Berlin Road, these two make a cameo, about as long as 2 seconds, so it's not necessary to understand the Strike Witches series, but if you want more tales within this world, it's a pretty nice watch. Now we move on to Season 3, Strike Witches Season 3, Road to Berlin. The fronts, the spines, the other spines, and the back. Time to strike back. Ho 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 ho. This is also an eye catch, so there you go, freebie there. Pop it open to see disc 1. Disc 2! And we pop it out to see the reverse cover art, which is also another eye catch. Alright, for Season 3, this takes place about 2 years after the movie, and we find her studying to become a doctor, the main character. Due to some scares in the OVA that hasn't been released over here, she is now a veteran to the Strike Witches and is studying up to become a doctor to heal people no matter the cost, even if she has magic or not. This time around, more characters get more screen time to do actions, as we see this one right here. She usually is part of the admin of the group, but doesn't really do much. In this one, we actually see her in action, rage, and full fist forward. This one is more serious than the other two, but it still holds up to me. So, after talking about all this and showing it to you, I do recommend this series if you're over a certain age, which is fine. So with that, let's continue with the episode Shenanigans, What's Missing, and we'll return for the farewell soldier. For Strike Witches, I call Shenanigans for these silly fun episodes so you're in the know, aka fun filler. For Strike Witches Season 1, we have Episode 7, Nice and Breezy, Nice and Breezy. This is when a upper division member forgot where her clean panties are as the rest of the crew decides to go and take a bath. She spots a clean pair and just snaps it, causing mass pandemonium over a panty thieving situation. Strike Witches Season 2, Episode 7, Creeping About. This is where the girls go take a bath and for some reason a mysterious bug starts flying around and entering their butt. The Strike Witches Road to Berlin Season 3, Episode 7, They Go Boing Boing. This is where the members come back from a mission and have some sort of ancient capsule. They accidentally break it open and start messing around with this tiki-like figure. The tiki-like figure is the goddess of fertility and starts up in the bust as a muss, so the girls will fuss as they are possessed and now have big boobs. Following that, we have Episode 8. This is a more serious episode, however, at the beginning they point out that there's this new chemical agent that will dissolve their clothes. After solving this pretty awesome action mission, they return and uh-oh, the chemicals suddenly got all over their clothes. Oh no, they're evaporating. Over at Strike Witches, we have less naughty episodes and have Episode 7, On a Holy Night, which is a Christmas episode that shares how Russian culture celebrates Christmas, and Episode 13, The Great Petersburg Strategy, which is a New Year's episode. And finally, we have Strike Witches, 501st Joint Fighter Wing Takeoff. The TV series and movie is pretty much a whole bunch of shenanigans in general. What's kind of neat is all the Shenanigans episodes are mostly Episode 7 for the most part. Now moving on to What's Missing. What's missing for Strike Witches? Well, first off, we have the original Strike Witches OVA. Luckily, Season 1 gives a different telling of this OVA, but this OVA started this whole franchise, but it's still missing. Following that is Strike Witches Operation Victory Arrow OVA, which has some crucial plot points, and it's strange that it's not here because it links a lot of plot elements and introduces General MacArthur into the fray and how they portray the character. A newer season, Season 4, World Witches Takeoff, not to be confused with what's released currently. This aired just recently and has not been slated for release currently. And last we have Luminous Witches, which is a Magical Idol spin-off. It's been delayed in production and it's supposed to be released July 2022, unless this is pushed in production again. Now we move on to Watch Order. Alright, Watch Order. Remember, repetition is the name of the game. So first off, we have Strike Witches OVA, which Season 1 retells in a different way. Then we have Season 1 followed by Season 2. Apparently, Operation Victory Arrow, which is an OVA, takes place after Season 2 and just before the movie. So far we have pre-OVA, Season 1, Season 2, Operation Victory Arrow OVA, the movie. Now we get into decorative areas. We have Strike Witches, 501st Joint Fighter Wing Takeoff, TV and movie, which are fun misadventures that take place between season 1 all the way to the movie. After that, we have Brave Witches. Brave Witches, you don't need to watch the Strike Witches prior. You can just watch it and have your own separate adventure. There's a new cast of characters within this world or in the Russian territories. However, I would suggest watching this before season 3 because 2 of the characters have a cameo in it for like a few seconds. Let's reiterate again. We have the OVA, season 1, season 2, Operation Victory Arrow OVA. The movie, in parallel to what I just listed, Strike Witches, 501st Joint Fighter Wing Takeoff, TV and movie, and as a separate spin-off from what I've listed, you have Brave Witches, as well as the OVA for Brave Witches. Now you can watch Strike Witches, Road to Berlin, Season 3, then we have World Witches Take Off, Season 4, and to my knowledge, Luminous Witches, which is a Magical Idol spin-off, does not take any part of what's listed prior, but is just its own spin-off, its own thing. Luckily, this watch order will be your guide to a better Strike Witches viewing. Now let's move on to our goodbyes. Okay, Brigade, it's time to gather up and give your final salute to this series. Even though we are missing a few and a new one coming out pretty soon in July 2020, fingers crossed and hopefully, I will now let you be at ease and we go to the bean footage as we normally please. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment below, watch my playlists, share with your friends, follow my social medias, ring that bell, and I'll have more to come later. Thank you for watching.